guy's sickening.
No, you don't get to gaslight me and tell me I hate my own gender.
Everybody is so soft.
You lack balls.
No, you
lack bravery.
Lack balls. Dude, I have more balls than you'll ever have, boss.
I think like 20 years ago I went on a date with Tommy and I slipped out the back door.
Real quick, let's pick the winner of last week's $100 giveaway. Mom, scroll through.
Oh my God, I can barely see.
Pick a motherfucker, know what I'm saying? Just pick somebody, scroll. Come on.
Give me a sec. Let's go with David Guerrero.
Great video.
Thanks, David.
Lit. DM me for the prize. So I'm also giving away another $100 to someone who joins the Discord in my caption. Get Shit Done University, gonna be the biggest thing around, and DMs me proof on my Instagram. So today we're gonna be reacting to Tate, Top G, you know the guy. Yes. Apparently you're in love with him, according to the comment section.
According to the internet, yes.
So we're gonna be reacting to him arguing with the super pink-haired liberal dude. Acting Like Tommy, oldest professional Fortnite player.
Okay. Tell me more about Tommy, though. Anything else on his background? Fortnite player.
He used to be like a rock star. I think he had like a bunch of stuff with drugs and alcohol. I think. Don't take my word totally for that. And then he became sober and started streaming Fortnite. I actually used to watch him back when I still played.
Waiter, fuck nuts.
So it's pretty funny seeing him talking to the Top G now.
Got my mega pint. I'm ready.
A mega pint.
Dude, I have nothing personal against you, Andrew, but like.
He thinks you're a bitch, though.
Some of your philosophy, I don't think you're a bitch. I think you're a water boy.
Don't switch up.
Water boy for patriarchy and capitalism and whatnot, right?
Just let him keep going. Let's just let this vomit come out.
And sort of regressive ideas about manhood, and which is why the teenage audience like consumes it so much. You know, you got these young boys that are like grappling with feelings of powerlessness, and you come in and offer them like the ultimate machismo ideas,
what are you
like
offering
how to
them?
be a man, but you're just.
I don't know. What is this? We really got the Johnny Depp mega pint of wine right here. This is insane. Oh my.
What are you?
You could fit a whole bottle in here.
Yes, that is the point of it. Said that on the box.
I said it on the box.
Mm-hmm.
So, you think that I am inspiring the youth of today, the masculine youth of today, to become men, and you think that's a negative thing? Why? Why?
No, I don't think you're inspiring them to become men, because like real men are in touch with their emotions and their vulnerability and don't need to be like wielding and taking power. Real men are self-aware, and you come in offering them like somebody that they can follow.
I can't stop looking at the mannequin too. It's so funny.
Like the savior, the guy, the badass.
If you're a man who's in touch with his strength and his masculine power, why does that mean you're not capable of reflecting inwards and being self-aware? They're not mutually exclusive.
Well, apparently for you they are, though, because on the one hand you talk about how you made your first million while exploiting women on webcams.
Is running a webcam business exploiting women?
If he kidnapped them and drugged them and put them on camera, then it is. If they said, sign me up, I want to make some money, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They signed, women can make their own decisions, period.
You and your brother are going to bring purity back to women. So yeah, you absolutely lack self-awareness, because you yourself admit you made your initial money on sort of like you profited off the supposed.
He's wearing a t-shirt with a woman on it. That's not exploiting, or is it celebrating? Maybe Tate was just celebrating women and paying them for it. I mean, what the hell's the difference, truly?
I don't know. Have you seen the clips?
I'm trying to, like,
have you seen the clips of the dude?
Question.
Have you seen the clips of the dude wearing the Mexican outfit, like the sombrero and all that shit? And he goes to a college campus and he asks them, he's like, "Does this offend you?" All these white people, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not your culture. That's very offensive." And then he goes to like Mexican alley, I don't know where it is, and he's talking to all like the old dudes, and they're like, "Yes, my friend. Yeah, I love your outfit. It doesn't offend me."
No. Do you like my outfit?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Does my outfit offend you?
No, not at all.
I don't know why people get so offended over shit.
Totally.
It's not even their place to get offended about.
They call it cultural appropriation, and I always just thought of it as cultural celebration. I don't think there's anything wrong with celebrating.
I think it's definitely gotten a lot better, but it was pretty bad for like.
Well, because no one's taking it anymore.
Yeah,
Everyone's
everyone's
speaking
like,
up and
this
speaking
is-
their mind.
this
Not
is
everyone, and still a lot of people who are afraid to get
fucking
canceled. But
stupid.
there's a lot of
Guess
people
what?
who are done.
Can't
being
get canceled if you don't give a shit.
That's right.
First thing, the word exploiting is an incorrect use of language because I've never exploited anyone in my life.
Well, let me ask you this. When you made your first million with the women in the webcams, how many of the women who were on those webcams earning for you, how many of them are millionaires now?
The ones who made millions are also millionaires. It was 50%. It was 50.
You know what I'm saying?
I would argue the point here, sir. I would argue the point here that when
Right.
a girl worked for me, it was 50-50. If you work for nearly any other business in the world, you do not get 50% of the takings. If you go work at McDonald's and you ring up a register for an hour, you do not get 50% of that register. So that is a lie. Most companies pay you less than 1%. So to sit here and say that I was exploiting people is absolute fallacy. So that's the first
No,
thing.
it's like
So that's the first fallacy. I've let you talk. Now it's my turn.
That's, yeah, he's not
just-
wrong.
He's 100% right.
Tate's the brain. He even said, so when he was doing the webcam industry, he said the girls like didn't know how to actually talk to the guys because you were typing through a keyboard. So if it was an older guy, the women would be like, yeah, like a nice young guy who's attractive. And Tate would be like, no, you friggin' broad. You gotta be like, I'm sick of these young guys trying to flex it all. I want a nice older guy to settle with. So then Tate would get behind the keyboard and like 20x the earnings. So it makes sense if you wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
Because then you end up making more money even taking that smaller cut. This is just how basic business works.
Any business, right? Would you
Like, I'm not
that's
really-
the would you like fries with that?
People work for
train.
$9 an hour, and then those same people go and spend $40,000 a year at college, and you're trying to tell me that that's okay? That's not a scam? That's not
scam.
exploiting people? That's bullshit.
That's the first fallacy. The second fallacy is this whole patriarchy bullshit you're saying that are outdated ideas of masculinity.
Yeah.
The idea of patriarchy is now an outdated idea of masculinity. Perhaps in the West, in a declining empire, as we've already discussed on this stream, in an empire which is in absolute decline, you can have men who sit here and think there's absolutely nothing necessary about masculinity in the modern world, and that you don't need to be strong or brave or any of these things. You can sit around and cry and you're still a man. That is not true in most places on the planet. In most places on the planet, men need to be capable and competent because if they don't, they do not survive. And I'll tell you something now, sir. I'll tell you something else now. You will sit here and talk right now about patriarchy and how you can be in touch with your feelings and all this bullshit. The second you're physically assaulted or physically threatened, the first thing you do is you call a toxically masculine police officer to turn up with a weapon to protect you because you cannot protect yourself.
It's actually insane how articulate Andrew Tate is. How he can just go on a tangent for so long.
But why do these things even need to be said? This is just obvious logic.
Yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah, this guy's not calling somebody that looks like him to come save him. He's not.
Not against the idea of masculine power. You're not against the idea of men who have masculine imperatives to defense. All you've done is outsource it to someone else to do at the end of a phone call because you're too scared to do it yourself. So you're fucking lying. You're lying.
No, that's absolutely
These
incorrect.
ideas, you don't want to do them yourself, and you hope everyone else does them for you so you can sit around and play fucking video games.
See, the point I posit is there's more than just physicality with men. And you talk about exploitation, you absolutely exploit people with your affiliate links. That is exploitation.
This shit again? Oh my god.
You give people an opportunity to take a piece of the pie. That's not exploiting anybody.
I don't know since when affiliate marketing is exploiting
When is
people.
that? Nobody is forced to be an affiliate.
It's one of the most exactly.
If you are just, people make entire livings just being affiliates for bunches of different business.
That's how most content creators make their livings, is being affiliates.
Like I, as well as Bucky and Clicks, know anybody who's an influencer knows that affiliate links are total bullshit because basically you give an affiliate link to somebody who promotes you and he makes a little money off of it, but you're getting free advertising. That's exploitation.
It's not free. You're paying the guy for it. You just said it. It's not free.
pissing
This is
me
the
off.
problem. Logic has gone out the fucking window. Totally out the window.
Yeah, when I launched the Get Shit Done University, I'm having an affiliate program attached, and I'm gonna take over TikTok with it. It's not fucking scamming or exploiting people. It's just a good marketing strategy.
But it's not even that. You're actually offering something of real value that can help people in their lives.
Yeah,
if they
like-
relate to it and they use it. And
Yeah, it's not the only way to make money is by getting other people to sign up. I'm teaching dozens of different ways to make money.
maybe we should get this guy to, do a chapter on how to make money on Fortnite. That's not exploitation at all. This guy's taking money from teenagers on Fortnite, from kids on Fortnite, and he's talking about exploitation when you give someone a business opportunity with an affiliate link. Am I missing that? Am I correct about that?
No, you're
It's little kids
you're
on
not wrong.
Fortnite that are like, oh, here, take some $10. I like watching you play. Oh my God, this guy's sickening. And I'm sure a person he's nice. If he was at the kitchen table, we'd have a a nice
He's
conversation.
he's just a little bit of a puss.
It's a
but
debate,
he's not a
though, so.
bad guy. He's just a puss.
He's got a permanent pussy hat on.
Yeah.
Look at his hair. I'll go to the salon and be like, I'll take the pussy hat.
I'll take the acting like Tommy.
Talk about like purely physical strength. Like, first off, if I get assaulted, I'm probably not going to call the police, okay? Because the police aren't actually very adept at actually solving crimes, right? They don't function very well in the actual solution of crimes. They show up later and just sort of muck up the business.
Correct.
Right?
So I agree with that. So how would you defend yourself in the effect of an assault? You just lay there and take it?
Well, so it would depend on the assault. I would probably remove myself from the situation, right?
Obviously, that's not something that's going to be applicable to the scenario we're doing here on the stream. We're not going to pretend you can run away because that just defeats the point of the question.
Well, what are we? Are we here to talk about some hypothetical assault?
No, we're not here to talk about.
99% of Americans never even encounter a violent crime.
We're not here to talk
Is that true?
I wonder if that's true, because
99%? What?
I've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah, so have I. What?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we live in the city. I don't know.
I am curious about his.
You're
about that
from
stat.
Brooklyn, cuz, you know, maybe it's a little wild out in the streets.
I'm sitting here saying to you, live in a very soft society. You're completely correct. 99%
incorrect.
You live in a soft society. If you were the same person in most places on the planet, you would have had your ass beat because you are a weakling. And weaklings are not respected. Let me tell you something, my friend, I'll let you talk afterwards. Never in human history, in any single civilization, in any single empire across the history of Earth, have men been celebrated for their weakness. Ever once. It doesn't matter if you were an Aztec or the Mao dynasty, from China all the way to South America. In every single history book you can read, men who were respected and men who had stories written about them were written about them because they were strong. Weak men have never been respected. Weak men have never mattered. For you to come along and say, I think it's okay to be weak is fine. That is your initiative. That is your decision. But the reason you have done that is because you lack brave. You lack balls.
No,
you lack bravery.
Lack balls. Dude, I have more balls than you'll ever have, boss.
I've got more balls than you've ever had, boss.
Yeah, I've got more balls than pink hair has. That's the truth. Are you kidding?
You're changing the goalposts here because you're the one who's sitting here calling emotional strength and emotional vulnerability. You're defining it as weakness.
He didn't say that. He just said they're not mutually exclusive. You can be strong, you can be alpha, you can kick ass, and you can also be self-aware and feel things.
If me and you were to stand side by side in front of 100 women, in front of 100 fucking police officers, 100 fucking enemies who want to kill us, whatever it is, they would all choose to fuck with you before they choose to fuck with me. Because they'd look at me and I'd have a certain status and a certain presence which comes from my physical stature. Not just my capability, but because of the things I've gone through to become this physical specimen of man, they know I'm not the kind of guy who you really want to mess with. They look at you and go, he is a victim. Because that's what you look like, my friend, and it's your own choice.
I love Tate's mentality of how you have to like go through a lot of struggle as a man to become a truly high value man. Because I remember senior year when life was like going too good, I was like, damn, I should just like get a girlfriend and then have her break my heart so I have more like motivation and I can like become a crazy gym rat or just like have insane motivation for my business. And then my friend screwed me over and then
It's funny, you got what you wanted, but it came in a different way.
Yeah.
It is funny how you always end up getting what you want. It's just never exactly how you want it.
Yeah, no, like right away though, when it happened, I didn't even dwell on it for more than like an hour after we talked about it. I just like started working like that night.
See, that's just it though. The only reason they would choose you in that element is because of the patriarchal fucking male-dominated society.
Stop. Again, patriarchal. He is a victim. Everyone who's like, the patriarchy holds me down, the patriarchy holds me down, is held down because they allow it. Because they are victims and they just sit and complain and it's everybody else's fault that they haven't succeeded. Frankly, the patriarchy's been pretty good to me. There were times when they've been shitty to me and I just keep going. I just keep swimming, I'm not gonna sit and dwell. If I get mad at something, I get mad. I go let it out somewhere and then I come back and carry on. And these people just sit and dwell and complain and complain and complain. It's fucking torture.
I just don't ever like complaining about things that are out of my control.
Yeah, but you were raised that way, right? We're not allowed to sit and piss and moan about things and complain in this house.
Bitching about the government and all that stuff, like bro, like they actually give a shit about you. Bro, just move on with your life and do your own thing. Stop worrying about them.
Or if you really care, do something about it besides vote. Get involved. Go in the deep end.
Deal, Andrew.
Oh, Tate wishes they were in a ring. I wish they were in a ring too.
It's
got to be curled up in a ball in the corner.
History that wasn't patriarchal. Name a society from history that was not patriarchal.
See, listen to me, though.
there was
That
one.
is why.
In Africa, at one point, there was a society where
Well,
women,
nobody knows about it.
and it was obviously overrun by men.
The reason you cannot name a single society in history that was not a patriarchy is because all of the societies, and I'm sure there were some, which were not patriarchal, were destroyed by patriarchal societies. They were wiped off the face of the planet because they are not competitive.
There have
They
been
don't
not
have
competitive.
books to read. They do not have monuments to find. And the point I'm making is that in the harsh reality of ultra competitiveness, only patriarchal societies can survive. So the reason you cannot name one from history is because all the ones that tried this idea that you're trying to purport were destroyed in real time.
It's true. As the U.S. is shifting more away from patriarchal society, it's becoming weaker. Testosterone levels are down across the board. Men are just becoming more pussies.
Really, in the cities, you go to Middle America, and there's testosterone in the coffee. It's fine. And
You think it's just because
this,
we grew up in? I've lived in the city my whole life, so maybe it's just a.
all the stuff, yeah, maybe,
personal.
and all the stuff we see on the news just talks about the fringes. So you got the fringe right lunatics, and you got the fringe left lunatics, like this guy who's saying that everybody's out to get them. And it's not really the case, though. Really think about the 5 men and young men in your world that we deal with on a daily basis. Your dad, your friends, their dads. None of them are Sissy Marys. Not one.
No, because I don't surround myself with Sissy
Right.
Mary.
So it's not, so to go back to our anecdotal evidence and our experience, we don't see a lot of that.
Yeah,
So
I don't hang out
don't
with-
don't let this guy Pink Tommy say that the society is changing, because the news will tell you that it is to keep you angry, but in reality it's not. We had a few years of nonsense.
So you're
in
saying
this
it's more
country.
of just like the media and all that bullshit rather than
the
society
media giving them a
actually changing.
megaphone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people feed from their phones. It's like 12 hours a day staring into a device that other people are feeding them information through.
And they're only feeding into things that they think they agree with, because
And it
they
also,
haven't even
you know
thought
what's even
about it.
crazier is that your phone like optimizes to what you want to see. So if you're like a liberal, it'll show you like more, like on TikTok, it'll show you more liberal stuff and like liberals owning conservatives. And the same thing if you're conservative, it'll show like, it's pretty insane how the algorithm learns to cater to what you want to see to keep you on the app longer, which just feeds into these crazier beliefs.
And to
then
get
just
you more
go
and more upset.
And then you just go more and more alt to the right or alt to the left.
Yeah.
And then it's those pillars that are they're both retarded.
Checking out's the only way.
Yeah, you just gotta
You
be
better
like, this
check
is
out.
all bullshit. I remember back during like the end of COVID and during the election, and I was posting all like the Trump shit, and I was like, this is not what happened. You know, I was arguing with bitches on social media, and then now I look at it and I'm like, it's all a fucking scam. What am I arguing with these bumbleclaws for?
Yeah, I know. I used to do it too. Not anymore.
It's just a waste of time.
In America, as we stand right now in America, which I wouldn't even call it a patriarchal society because it isn't, because females have more rights under the law than men.
Oh my God, bro.
Bro.
They do. And I'm telling you
You
now,
are so clueless. What
as
are you even
America
talking
falls
about?
apart, and
He said that women are more favored in the law than men. They have more rights.
Yeah, absolutely. No
Yeah.
question about it.
No shit.
Oh wait, let's see what Pink Tommy's got to say.
all that's going to happen is that other countries like Russia, like China, like countries which are still patriarchal, will remain more competitive than the West, and you're not going to fix the world. America's just going to end up a third world shithole. So throwing the
this
fucking
rate, yeah.
patriarchy away to fix a fucking thing. You live in a
So-
clown
so-
world, my clown
Dude,
world.
yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I do live in a clown world because there are people like you that are sitting there like pushing this inane philosophy. So yeah, I get it. I accept that. But first off, we haven't seen a non-patriarchal society yet.
Okay, sorry, I have to do politics. Did you see Kamala Harris yesterday in the news, or this week, or whatever it was? And she's like, "Hi, my name is Kamala Harris, and my pronouns are she and her, and
She
I
said that?
am wearing a blue suit."
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
She was running a meeting as the
It's-
vice president of our country.
it's-
Oh, it's there. I am wearing a blue suit. So this is a representation of what female leadership looks
It's
like, which is
fucking
bullshit, because
lunacy.
there were great female leaders. But this guy is saying we're moving towards it. So if he thinks that that's leadership, God help him. Let's have the Civil War and get it over with. And you can go live in that land, and I'm going to live in Tate's land.
The funniest is when it was Trump and Hillary in the election, and all the people that wanted Hillary only wanted her because she's a woman. Yeah. They didn't even know
What
why they wanted her.
qualification is that?
The Clintons are some of the most corrupt people in the country.
You mentioned the Roman Empire earlier. The Roman Empire didn't fall because of laziness. It fell because of overconfidence, because of an income gap between the richest and the poor, and because of political corruption. All three things that are sort of happening in America right now. So absolutely, America could fall, but it's not because men were turning soft, right?
Yes,
the
it is.
idea of men being soft, the idea of men being soft, Andrew, is a battle cry of men who see that purely physical stature is no longer the only defining quality.
Men still need to be strong. And women need to be strong, but feminizing men is not the answer. Let women be the best feminine women. They can be smart, they can do everything, and let men be masculine. Let them all be the best at what they're natural at and what they can be taught. And
not only are people becoming less masculine, men are also becoming just lazier. It's kind of sad how many friends and people I know that just don't do anything with their lives. They just sit around and waste time all day.
That's generational. That's females too. It's insane.
Fucking society's just going down the cacajou, you know?
You could line me and you up, and all those brutes like the cops or somebody looking for pure strength would choose you to defend them. But anybody who was from a marginalized group that was looking for an emotional defender, those people would pick me.
Would you rather?
Why do you need an emotional defender? Deal with your shit. I'm sorry. Grow up. Everybody is so soft. And I'm not saying we should go around hurting people's feelings, but everyone's got to get a backbone. I mean, this is enough.
And they wouldn't pick the muscular guy because they know that.
Pretty girl's back.
If she's watching this, my Instagram's right here, baby.
If she's watching, come talk to me first, and I'll let you know if you can talk to my son.
We go to your Instagram page and you talk about being the Messiah and all this other BS. You want people to follow you like you're some sort of like deity boss. And that's actually a sign of your own weakness at work, right? That's coming from your own trauma.
I think like 20 years ago, I went on a date with Tommy and I slipped out the back door.
Secondly, the fact that I'm actually mixed race, that I grew up in the south side of Chicago with my father.
Absolutely.
I know more about marginalized communities than you do, because you are as white as they fucking come, and you're sitting here talking about marginalized person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But let me ask you,
I never woke up and thought, I'm brown, so I had to find this white guy with pink hair to fight for me. I woke up and... And that is the point. You don't want to fight for yourself. You fight for yourself when you're a man. That requires all forms of power, whether it be emotional, mental, and physical. You to sit here telling men they should be as weak as possible and sitting around doing fucking nothing is not good for society as a whole.
I mean, maybe Tommy was bullied when he was little, and he's just pissed at the patriarchy since. I don't know what drives.
I didn't even
his
really know what
anger
I'm kind of confused about
masculinity. Like, what is like? I'd like to get beneath this and see what's Tommy's problem. We should call him.
I think all men, if you're a good man, you're gonna have a traumatic life. That's a part of being a man, and I think
I think it's not even a part of being a man. It's a part of being a human being on the planet. You're gonna have a traumatic life, right? But you got to heal the trauma. The trauma doesn't make you unless you heal it.
If all you do is sit in the trauma and talk about healing the trauma and scream about it, you're not ever going to heal it. You're not going to heal it. You're just throwing gasoline on the fire.
Everything you do in life is all about energy. If you're constantly talking and dwelling on negative shit, then more negative stuff's going to come around you. Like, you heal from the trauma, but like your healing is like, it's like when you're working out, you're ripping your muscle fibers and then they're becoming back stronger. That's what Tate's saying, that when you're going through trauma, it's like you're ripping yourself a little bit and then coming back even stronger. Like, he's saying you're healing. It's not like he's saying to just like stuff it down, be a man, I don't care.
Now this guy, what I see, and I'm making a generalization, is that in the type of people that he's hanging with, the word trauma is down to the tiniest little transgression. So it was like the Me Too movement, like, oh, somebody brushed his hand against my ass on the subway. Like, yeah, that was shitty, and he deserves to, you know, take a kick to the shin for that at least. But that's not trauma. That's just a gross experience, and they'll take that and they'll turn it into my story.
I got catcalled.
Yeah, catcalled. Like, come on.
Same shit.
Like, I've been catcalled. It's not trauma. You got to toughen up because it diminishes real trauma. These people make trauma out of everything. My flight was late. I'm traumatized.
Any man who's not had difficulty, any man who's not gone through something that's difficult is not very good at being a man, because when shit hits the fan, people turn to the nearest man in the room and say, what is the solution? Someone just broke in the house, you go to the man. Fucking, there's a natural disaster, a hurricane, you go to the man. There's a war, you go to the men. So men who have not been through trauma are not very good at being men because they're not capable of dealing with trauma.
Wait, so pause right there though, Andrew, because you said when you go to war, you go to the men, but the only reason you have a war is because of men and their lack of awareness about their own feelings. That's why war exists in the first place.
So you're saying if
that is not the reason for war. There are a lot of reasons for war. That is not the reason we go to war.
Okay, so
if you had more women leaders, we wouldn't even have war. Men literally are responsible for war by a lack of emotional awareness. That's how it starts.
Interesting. So let's make this the final point before we move on. You just said that if all the leaders were women, we wouldn't even have war.
I said if we had more women leaders, yes, there would be less war.
To prove Tate's point about trauma, there was something that I was taught growing up. So Grandpa Serafino, who is my father, in his teens, so say late 50s, he was really becoming a punk, and he was just being an asshole, and he was fighting with teachers at school, and he was a greaser, and he was all this. He was in school, got in a fight with the hall monitor, went to the principal's office. The principal started giving him a hard time, and he picked up his books and threw them all at the principal. And the principal threw him out. This was a few weeks before graduation. He got kicked out of school, got expelled. He never graduated high school, but he went home that day, and he sat in the living room, and he lit a cigarette in the living room. He's 17. And my grandfather, his father, walked in and said, "How you doing?" He goes, "I'm 17. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want." And the way my father told it is, his father kicked the living shit out of him, beat him off of every wall in that living room, kicked his ass, left him in a ball, and said, this is my house, but you're going to be a man, but this is my house, and you're not talking to me or your mother or anybody like that. The lesson that my father passed on to us: everybody needs one good beating. And that's a metaphor, whether it's a real beating like what he got, because he said it taught him, he straightened up after that. That's how bad the beating was, though. And ended up being just a wonderful man, a family man, a strong man, but also a kind man. But if he didn't get that beating, who knows what path he might have been on. So Tate's right. You got to have some shit go down to become strong. And this guy, Tommy, is saying when you have shit go down, you got to solve your feelings. You got to own your feelings. And you got to be there in your feelings. Could you imagine laying in bed next to Tommy at night and be like, God, is he crying again?
Well, you don't get to gaslight me and tell me I hate my own gender just because I'm displaying a version of manhood that you're uncomfortable looking at. You don't get to say I don't give a fuck that I'm weak because I present a version of manhood that has struggled just like you, that has conquered just like you, but lives outside the idealized patriarchy that was sold to me. You don't get to gaslight me because you're uncomfortable with the type of man that I am.
Tommy's father thinks.
You love men. The reason you're totally wrong saying that the world would have less war if there was no female leaders is because if you actually ask anybody who's been in the corporate world for long enough, the companies that have the most arguments, the most difficult corporate structures to deal with, in fact, even if you ask most women, they say, I don't like having a woman boss. I'd rather work for a man.
True.
What, like you'd rather have a man boss?
Yeah, I have had two awesome female bosses, and I can't say enough about them, but they were chill, but they acted the same way as the best male bosses. All other female bosses, I would have loved to just throw them down a flight of stairs. They were terrible to work for. Emotional, mean, competitive. If you did well, they'd knock you down a few pegs just to teach you a lesson. Where man, if you did well, he'd be like, all right, great, you can handle more. Go, run with this ball, run with that ball. And Nancy and Krista were the two female bosses I had. That man, I would have followed those women to the ends of the earth. They were awesome.
A whole bunch of women in charge. It's nothing but a fucking bitch fest, and it's a shit show. Every single fucking person who's ever worked in corporate knows that. Every single person who's ever worked in the world knows that women actually, as beautiful as they are and they're good at lots of different things, they would they would prefer to work for a male boss because it's a stronger, more clear leadership structure. Having a bunch of women in charge of countries is not going to make a fucking...
This guy again?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
...world. And the fact you believe that shows your entire mental model's fucked.
Dude.
I'd like to actually put a poll in the chat, and let's see who agrees with you, who agrees with me.
Why will we take a poll in the chat? Of course, teenage boys are going to agree with your hyper-idealized manhood. They need to cling to that.
You know, I don't even automatically agree with Tate. I try to really critically think about what I see and why I think it.
Good. You should be doing that with everything. I don't automatically agree with Tate. I've thought this stuff through in the past, and
I just haven't thought about that much.
I'm just sick of the patriarchy being called so bad. Maybe the patriarchy only likes certain kinds of people, and when you show up with pink hair and wearing a Britney Spears t-shirt, maybe they're looking at you like, for God's sake.
No, but Tommy, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for coming.
I actually think Tommy's not a bad person. I think if we could just talk about other stuff like music and movies,
cut it out.
We might like Tommy.
This is just too much for us with him.
Dude, I did. Andrew, take care, brother. Hassan, I just say props to you, boss. I appreciate you, man. putting the word out there. Thank you, guys.
I don't know him personally. I have nothing against him personally. He's a new age thinker. He lives in the new think, the idea that the way the world runs and has always run is a bad thing, and that if we change everything from the ground up, it's somehow going to become a magically better place. Obviously, he has no proof or any references for his way of thinking because it's never been tested before. It's an untested theory. I think that for him to come along and say such blanket statements that if we changed all the world leaders to women, there wouldn't be war is inane and asinine. I think for him to say that a man who's physically strong can't be mentally strong is also stupid. But I also understand why he's saying the ideas he's saying, because he has a natural insecurity based on the fact that he's not a physical specimen of man, and the way he gets around it is to pretend that that's not important. So time will prove me right, but I have nothing
He's
against
picking his nose. Yo, what?
Did he? Go back.
thing.
Look at it.
Are there going to be a safer societies overall? So
No, there's no way. That's a joke, right?
Dude, I don't know.
Clicks, dog. I'm trying to defend you here, bro. With the Fortnite shirt and fucking picking your
We
nose.
got 8 minutes left on that.
Let's get your rating on Tommy, 1 to 10.
I think Tommy seems like a really nice person. I don't like his take on masculinity and femininity and victimhood, but I think he's a nice person. So I don't feel comfortable rating him at all.
Gotta give him a rating.
No, I don't gotta do anything.
Question mark out of 10.
I think I shit on Tommy enough today. I mean, that's the job plan.
What the fuck is he doing? 99% of you guys who are watching are not subscribed, so please hit the bell. I'm giving $100 to someone who likes, subscribes, and then joins the Discord in my comments. The Get Shit Done University. No, you're not eligible. Alright. Sayonara, motherfuckers.